Welcome back to Bandwagon fans. I'm Jeff.
Jason here.
This is our show, Crap on Classics, where we take the shows we all love, the movies that we all love, grew up with, and just like an old family member, kind of give it a hard time. Tonight we just got done watching Rocky. Jason?
Yeah, Rocky. I grew up with this one. So did you. 1976. Sylvester Stallone wrote it, kind of his breakout.
So 1976, for both of us, the year we were born.
Yeah, bicentennial babies.
And tonight is actually Jason's birthday. Happy birthday, Jason.
Yay.
How old are you tonight?
24 in bizarro years.
Exactly. We don't want to think about it. Definitely getting older, but still loving the stuff we grew up with. So for me, I grew up with the end of the movie more than the actual movie itself.
Most people did, sure. I'm sure a lot of people, if they remember the Rocky 1, it's the fight.
Yeah, I probably, so, like we said, 1976, written by Sylvester Stallone, starring Sylvester Stallone.
Mm-hmm.
It won Best Picture, Best Director, Best, I think it was Best Editing.
Mm-hmm.
Nominated for Best Actor for Sylvester Stallone, Best Actress Talia Shire. I think Burt Young was nominated for an Oscar.
Was there a supporting actor for that?
And Burgess Meredith were nominated.
Yeah, a lot.
Best Editing.
This was the darling of '76, this movie.
So this is supposed to be the show where we talk about all the bad parts of these great movies. We just watched it. I went through the first 45 minutes thinking, I got nothing. This movie is perfect.
Yeah, it's definitely, if you wanted to see how people lived paycheck to paycheck in the mid-'70s, this is a good example.
Yeah, so this so it does a really good job of showing the struggle that Sylvester Stallone and Rocky went through, just grinding it out, grinding fight to fight, trying to date the girl at the local pet store.
Well, the movie opens with him, doing a fight for nothing. After the locker fees and everything?
After all the fees, he made $40.
Spider Rico.
Yeah, Spider Rico. Spider Rico, after getting pummeled, made like 33 or something.
Yeah.
So just grinding. How about his apartment?
Boy, yeah, it looked like a bodega.
Yeah.
Dusty, really bare minimum what you could afford to live in.
A rolled up mattress for a boxing
and everything was kind of stabbed on the wall. The guy couldn't even afford a hammer and nails.
Yeah, almost. Yeah. So, and then there's an early scene where he gets to meet Talia Shire, Adrian, and I said,
stalking her.
Well, we're going to get to that in a minute, but it was so beautiful. And again, we're supposed to rip on this movies, but I'm going to be honest. It was just beautiful the way she was ignoring him, but then it would allow the scene to develop, and the story was told through the edits, where she'd ignore him and he's trying to talk to her, and then his attention goes to the dog, and she just shoots a glance at him, and you're like, okay, she does like him too.
She takes care of all the awkward pauses, by the way. This guy, Rocky Boy, for what it is, his life, he can't shut up about it. Even if it's just explaining the turtle food, man. So
you've seen this. How many times do you think you've seen this movie?
Oh, I've probably seen this original over 20 times.
Yeah, and like I said, I've seen the end 20 times. I probably haven't seen the whole movie before tonight since I was 4 or 5 years old. Does it hold up?
Oh yeah. This movie definitely holds up for me. You still get really worked up with just the way that he's such down and out, down on his luck guy, and these fights and the way everybody's given up on him. The whole neighborhood just thinks he's a joke, and given this opportunity that he gets, and just the American dream, right? Right. It's an American dream story.
So that's the conflict is So he's a down and out boxer. Has his locker taken away in his local gym by
put him on Skid Row.
Meredith. Put him on Skid Row, and then basically out of a catalog, Apollo Creed, world champion, just needs a white boxer to fight from a local boy from Philadelphia. So literally is going through a magazine and says, I like this guy, the Italian Stallion. and like a mail order bride says, I'll take him. I don't need to meet him. I'm taking him.
He was kind of chosen similar to the way that shooter chose the Jerk, Steve Martin in the Jerk, remember?
Yeah.
He was just like random. Anyway, pretty funny, right? So, then, before the build-up, before the fight's even offered to Rocky, we get a big chunk into just his life and what it is and how he's just going nowhere with it.
This is not a boxing movie.
No, it really isn't.
This is a love story.
I mean, the boxing, in this movie, the boxing got more and more important with the sequels.
Later, yeah.
But this movie was definitely just, it was the characters, it was the story involving the character's life, with the boxing match kind of being the coup de grace.
Yeah. And I said early on we were watching, I said, this movie is America.
Yeah, it is.
It represents everything good or bad about America. The earnestness, the humbleness, humble origins, the everyman, lunch pail mentality. This is a lunch pail, go to work every day kind of movie.
The year it takes place, 76, the bicentennial year, is big time red, white, and blue and patriotism that year, from what I understand.
Yeah. A little bit racist. Doesn't treat his black people too kindly.
It's definitely a reflection of the times, the way these gritty movies were filmed and made back then.
Early on, it didn't treat its women folk too kindly, and that's all part of the American story. But despite its flaws, God damn it, I couldn't help but love it at the end.
It definitely, whatever opinion you have of it going into the ending of this movie, you definitely come around. That's what these Rocky movies do. That's why he can still make them. I don't know if there's going to be any more, but now the Creed thing, I think, is going to continue.
Well, yeah, they're already working on a Creed 2.
Yeah, that's the magic of these movies. It's just, the underdog. It's the ultimate underdog story. People love it.
Now, I said the first hour I'm watching this and I'm like, I got nothing. There's nothing other than the what is it, like 8 or 9 homeless white guys on the street corner with the fire barrel
doing their best doo-wop. I love that.
Yeah.
You'll never see a pack of white guys singing on the street nowadays.
What shiny happy homeless people?
Shiny happy homeless people.
So there's some corny scenes like that, but overall, this movie just...
Where like Rocky tries to be a mentor to the little girl.
Oh yeah. She says, she's like...
Well,
Rocky,
basically gives a big F you to Rocky.
Yeah, she calls him a creepo.
A creepo. And then, you know what? Hey.
Yeah. So you had mentioned pacing.
Yeah.
Right. We were watching the movie and there were moments where we started checking out. I was Googling, I think the movie The Butchers for some random reason.
Right. So you got a early Talia Shire.
It was a 1970 Talia Shire slasher.
Right. Well, the movie starts out and you really want to know what this character's all about. You want to know what keeps him going with his life that he has.
And they did it really well.
A lot of that middle stuff, the kind of getting to know Adrian, kind of courting and all of that, it carries on, it drags a little bit, but you got some other stuff to talk about with that.
Yeah. All right. So we've kind of been beating around the bush. Like I said, first hour, this movie is absolutely perfect. But this is kind of like that time where... you find out your grandma was actually a Nazi, or your favorite uncle, kind of beat his wife or something, and that's why they're divorced. There is a scene in the movie, and it starts off so beautifully. They're on the ice rink. He pays $10 to get the ice rink, but to themselves for 10 minutes, and I'm like, I want to be him right now.
Right. Okay.
Adrian. Right. Like I want that in my life. And then,
Stranger danger,
date rape scene.
Well, I mean, he conveniently heads to his apartment. You know, he knows that Adrian's brother's no good, or she's no desire to get back there pretty quick. So they go to the apartment. He invites her in, and a lot of creepiness happens.
Well, he doesn't just invite her in. He keeps insisting.
He kind of eggs her in.
It is well established in this movie that they are not in a good part of Philadelphia.
No,
this is not a neighborhood for women to be walking around alone at night.
This is the paycheck to paycheck sect.
So so full caveat. I'm going to kind of describe the whole scene.
Mm-hmm.
And this is the problem with going back and watching some of these older movies, is that our values and norms change over the years, and we can't help but apply current values to these older movies, and it just but what do we do with it? So we'll come back to that discussion in a second, but so just telling her that he's going to go inside while she's on the street itself is threatening to her, because now she has a decision to make. Do I stay on the street where I'm potentially in danger, or do I go inside with him where I'm potentially in danger?
Right, not the safest thing in the world to be walking alone at probably what it is, midnight.
Now she goes inside and she's looking around, and there's machetes stuck to the wall and giant knives with iron knuckles on them, and it's understandable that she's kind of like, I'm ready to go.
Yeah, the lighting's not too good.
And when she goes for the door, he cuts her off, pulls the door closed, and blocks her from escaping. Under our modern sensibilities, everything that happens after that is an assault. And this isn't what we want to do this channel for, but that's what we saw. And we both, to different extents, we both saw that. So what do you do with that? As a viewer 42 years later, how are we supposed to watch these movies?
Remembering the fights.
Everything other than that 3 minutes, this movie is perfect.
Mm-hmm.
The love story they have, other than that 3 minutes, is absolutely wonderful. But it's just, man, it's that one thing that you wish you didn't know about your friend or a family member. And that's kind of where we are. I can't really crap on this movie.
No.
It's the characters was great, the editing was great, the cinematography was. There were scenes where I just wanted to pause and say, those are leading lines.
Mm-hmm.
That it was shot so wonderfully. But you just get this one scene in the middle of it that just, for me, kind of like, not in a joking way, just in a serious, like, it kind of ruins it for me.
Well, I mean, I've seen the movie so much. I've grown up in the movie. The scene, maybe it's more diluted for me because I'm so, so immune to it.
You knew what Grandma's been doing this whole time.
Yeah, right.
Mom kept it from me. You've known about it, and I'm like, what do you mean Grandma was a Nazi? Grams.
Right. Well, I mean, and another thing too, Rocky's so...
Why didn't you tell me?
Right. Well, I mean, honestly, Rocky he comes off so innocent and so non-threatening.
While we're,
you know what I mean? That it's like that scene, the first time viewing, it really would hit you.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? We're talking, this is a movie I grew up with since a little boy. I've seen literally a few movies from this time period where things are acted out like this.
So we're watching the movie, and I literally say, there's a point where he holds the door closed and he leans in to kiss her, and I'm like, please tell me it ends right here. Please tell me it ends right. Please don't. No, please don't.
No, there's a few more minutes of uncomfortableness.
Don't do that.
With the wife beater, I love it.
So while we're watching this, I Google the Rocky kiss scene, date rape scene, whatever you would call it. And one Reddit poster said, Adrian raped Rocky because he's mentally challenged and wasn't capable of forming consent.
And quite frankly, I'm kind of with that one.
It is kind of funny.
Because, man, this guy throughout the rest of this movie and the other movies that follow, if he didn't have Adrian, and other people, man, this guy, he'd be dead. He'd be dead by now. He would have like fallen into a creek or broke his neck. I don't chewed gum and walked at the same time, and something bad would have happened. I mean, this guy he's not the brightest. You know, it's amazing to me he can live.
Yeah. And all that said, you get to the end, you get to the actual fight where Rocky just won't quit. And damned if I didn't get choked up watching it, even after.
It really turns good after Burgess Meredith comes and visits Rocky, and they agree.
Oh yeah, Burgess Meredith's acting.
I mean, once he gets into the movie,
all the acting performances. You know, Carl Weathers. We didn't even mention Carl Weathers.
Yeah, great.
In the fight. There's the moment where he gets knocked down in the first round.
Right.
And then when he gets up, you see him. It's so quick, but he flashes a look at Rocky, and it's like, that is perfect acting. He sells the story, and in that moment,
subtle nuances.
He knows that it's a real fight.
It's like what you were saying earlier in the movie with Talia Shire, with Adrian, how she's kind of ignoring Rocky, but you see the subtle.
Yeah, that's back in the.
She has the interest.
Yeah, back in the past.
The nuances of the performances, just spot on.
Overall, like I said, the performances were great. It deserves all the accolades it's received.
Sure.
It's just, we might revisit this topic later on. How do you watch older movies or any older art form with modern sensibilities and values? It's an open question. You have your opinions, I have mine. Go ahead and leave your opinions down in the comments below, and we'll see what people have to say.
Sure.
Jason, final thoughts, rating?
You know what? This movie, you give it that 5-star rating, and I would definitely give this movie the 4-star treatment on that. It lacks a star just because of just some stuff in the middle that could have been better treated. But all in all, great beginning, strong performances, one of the great endings.
Yeah.
I mean, just the fact that, spoiler, he doesn't win the fight in the first one just makes it even more real and makes it even more...
Double spoiler, he wins it in the second fight.
Well, yeah, he keeps winning after this one. So.
I'm going to give it a BB confused. I'm confused about how I feel about this movie right now. I cringed at one point. I almost cried at another point. Like I said, it's YouTube. You guys know what to do. Like and subscribe to our channel to see more content.
Yeah.
And this might be the last time we're in this setup. Getting ready to build a little bit of a better studio. Just want to thank the subscribers we have and everybody that's left comments, everybody that's watching our videos. We're doing this because we want to, because we have fun. But the more we can engage with you, the better it is. And every day we're going to get a little bit better. Next time we should be in a little bit better of a room, and
we'll be eating lightning and crapping thunder.
I'm Jeff.
Jason.
Stay on the bandwagon.
Happy trails.